What's going on, guys? BootyClapper23 here, back at it again with another CSGO video, and today I'm going to be listing some facts about CSGO skins that many people might not know. Even the most experienced traders will probably learn at least one new thing from this video, so be sure to stick around till the end to expand your brain size as much as possible. So the first fact I'm going to hit you with today is about a rare type of item that many people don't realize is rare at all: skins with pattern ID 1000. As you guys probably know, the patterns of skins in CSGO are determined by a random number that gets generated each time a skin drops. And while almost all patterns have an equal chance of dropping, pattern ID 1000 is the only pattern that can only be obtained from trade-ups, making it much rarer than all other patterns. If we search for knives with pattern ID 1000, no results pop up because knives cannot be obtained from trade-ups. Therefore, one of the rarest items in the game is the pattern 1000 M4A4 HAL, because these had to be obtained exclusively from trade-ups back when the HAL was still available in the Huntsman collection. And even when someone got the HAL from the trade-up, there was only a 1 in 1000 chance of getting pattern 1000, so it's kind of incredible that two actually exist today. I don't really think these would fetch any overpay because of their noteworthy pattern IDs, but it's still pretty cool that two trade-ups actually resulted in this super rare pattern on the M4 HAL. Fact number 2. It happens very rarely, but some skins that drop in game will actually have a float that barely falls outside the range that is possible for the skin. For example, the Nova Predator is supposed to be capped at 0.06 as the minimum float, but one actually exists with a float that falls just barely below 0.06. This is insanely rare, and this exact thing has only happened one other time with the Nova Polar Mesh. Another way floats can technically glitch out is on the border between well-worn and field-tested. This Op Asimov that I have on my alt account says that it's well-worn, but the float is actually just barely below 0.38, which means it's technically field-tested. It is possible to get these skins from very specific trade-ups, which is how I got this Op, but very rarely they can actually be dropped from cases or weekly rewards. This event is so rare that out of the 231 million consumer-grade skins that exist on FloatDB, less than 100 have a so-called glitched float. On any item you get as a drop, there is around a 1 in 5 million chance of getting a float value that is glitched outside of its normal range. This leads me right into fact number 3, which is about the rarest item that has ever dropped. While the well-worn StatTrak HAL and minimal wear Negev Anodized Navy exist in extremely low numbers and can't be obtained anymore, they are nowhere near the least likely items to exist. The crown of the most unlikely item to exist that has actually been obtained goes to this pair of well-worn Shadow Daggers with the glitched field-tested float. Calculating the odds of actually getting a knife with this float is really difficult, but one of the creators of CSGOfloat.com ran some large-scale simulations and determined that the odds of unboxing a glitched float knife like these Shadow Daggers is at least as low as 1 in 1 billion and possibly as low as 1 in 6.4 billion. So these daggers are far and away the rarest item anyone has unboxed. So most people probably know that the souvenir Op Dragonlore basically has the lowest drop rate of any item in the game. And while it is insanely rare, the souvenir Dragonlore isn't actually the rarest souvenir in the game. In fact, the souvenir Dragonlore isn't even the rarest item that you can get from cobblestone packages. If we compare the number of souvenir Dragonlores to the number of factory new souvenir USPS Royal Blues that exist, we'll find that people have unboxed more souvenir Dragonlores than factory new Royal Blues, making this USP slightly rarer than the Dragonlore in terms of drop rate. Shout out to TDM Jesus for putting this in a tweet for me to yoink. Fact number 5 is about the rarest possible knife in the game when not accounting for super specific floats like the Shadow Daggers I mentioned earlier. At the moment, the rarest knives in CSGO are StatTrak Minimal Wear Black Pearls. They're so rare that at most there's only one of each StatTrak Minimal Wear Black Pearl knife, with many of these insanely uncommon knives not actually existing yet at all. Most of the minimal wear StatTrak Black Pearls are owned by 1 or 2 collectors, so if you somehow manage to unbox one, be sure to hit them up if you want to sell it. Fact number 6 is another fact about float values. Normally, when you get a skin as a drop, you can expect the float to look like a completely random jumble of numbers. But it's actually possible to get a float with only a few significant figures, such as this P250 Sand Dune with a 0.06250 repeating float. As with other special floats, it's really hard to tell how rare this actually is, but the odds are definitely 1 in a million or less for getting a float like this. There are a lot of skins with these floats that exist from trade-ups, but items that can't be obtained from trade-ups like case mil-specs and consumer-grade skins from in-game drops are insanely hard to come by, and there's only a few of each possible repeating float that has been dropped. I personally sold this P250 Sand Dune for $50, but I honestly wouldn't be surprised if it eventually goes for way more than that just because they are so incredibly rare. Fact number 7 is about the rarest collection in CSGO. So you guys probably know that there are some really old, rare skin collections like Office, Mirage, Alpha, Militia, Vertigo, and Aztec that only dropped for a limited time early in CSGO's lifetime. But there is one collection from that time period which is much rarer than all the others. Thanks to the massive demand for materials that trade up to the Glock Fade, the Assault collection's supply has been completely decimated, and as of 2021, there's only around 77,000 skins from the Assault collection left in existence. For comparison, the Cobblestone collection has also been pretty much decimated by trade-ups, yet the Cobble collection still has 30 times more skins than Assault left in existence. Assault skins are so rare and desirable for trade-ups that even the absolute cheapest field-tested gray skins from Assault are over $4 each, up from barely 4 cents in 2013. So in the last fact, I talked about the rarest collections in the game, which were only around way back in the day and haven't dropped in over 5 years. A bunch of those collections got discontinued, and you can't really get any of them anymore, so the supply of these old collections should never increase. Except there is one weird instance where you can actually get skins that should otherwise be discontinued. This is thanks to a little known type of item called gift packages. Gift packages are a container that work way differently from other types of cases. To open a gift package, you have to first be in an online match with other players. When you open the gift package, a random player in your match receives a random item as a gift from you. This description is pretty vague, but the skins that drop from the gift packages are the same skins that drop from DreamHack 2013 packages, just without the souvenir quality. Most of the skins these packages contain are items that you can normally get as weekly drops, so the gift is generally a terrible 4-cent skin like a P250 Sand Dune or Scout Blue Spruce. However, if you get really lucky, it is possible for the gift package to drop non-souvenir items that come from the Mirage collection. This is unique because Mirage skins haven't dropped in over half a decade. So if you do manage to get gifted a skin from Mirage, you'll not only be getting an item that shouldn't be able to drop, but you'll also make a whopping 40 cents as opposed to only 4 cents from other collections. So the last fact I've got for you guys today is 100% indisputable. It's an unarguable, unwavering truth of life itself. Valve needs to bring back the old trade-up animations or I'm gonna beat my fucking dick so goddamn hard